All right, there we go. We are on part 2 of my videos. We are now live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics, and I have 5 more books that I want to share with all of you that are interested. Some might consider these personal grails, but these are definitely known comics. They are key issues. I'm selling my duplicate books because I am using the money to help my cat Luna. It's also going to help us get a new home, and I want to welcome everybody. And moderators, make sure you keep an eye on that one person who makes 5,000 different profiles so we can try and come into the comments. So if you see him, make sure you regulate. I already blocked him. But anyway, I want to welcome everybody. Hopefully you guys are ready to look at some books. I have 5 more for sale. I want to make some announcements that if anybody buys 2 or more books in one order, I throw in a comic for free. This is for domestic only because the website that I have does not do international. So if you want any of these books and you live outside of the United States, you can use PayPal, and I put my address on the bottom of this that I just put here. So you'll see the link that you can press on if you want to go right to the site. It will take you there. Just scroll all the way down to the bottom. But if you want to do it by PayPal, you can contact me with the email address. Just make sure it's Peaceful Feelings. Make sure you have the S at the end. Otherwise, I will not get it. So let me put on the camera so you could see. Now, I will be taking these out of the bag so you can see them, give you a little bit of a description, what my estimate of the grade is. Now, if you guys watch, I'm pretty decent when it comes to grades, but keep in mind, you know, like they always say, I'm not the professional grader, but I will do my best. All right, so the first one, we're going to go from the least valuable to the most valuable. So this is the least valuable. So you could see where we're starting. This is Batman number 251, the iconic Neil Adams Joker cover. This is what they consider the modern version of the Joker. This is a very key Batman book. Pretty much Neil Adams was the man back in the 70s, especially with the Batman books. This is definitely something that people are going to want. This one has a lot of pressable issues. So this book, not a lot, but I'll show you it. The book inside is beautiful. As you can see, off-white to white pages. Here's the major defect. There was a little bit of a bend. You can see how it's curving, so it goes throughout the whole book, but it does not break color. So this could be easily pressed. Same thing on the back. There is a it's going to be hard to see, a non-color breaking crease. And that's why it shows, there it is, you can see right there, non-color breaking. So both of those can be pressed out, and this will dramatically increase the grade. There are 2 color breaking creases that go in this direction. One's about 2 inches long, one's about 1 inch long. And there's one right above the circle that breaks color, so a very small one right there. There is maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minor little creases that do not break color, so they can be pressed out. So this is one of those books I highly recommend pressing and dry cleaning. Now you can see it still has its luster. You know, I don't show my books in Mylars and don't take them out so they look nice and shiny. This is the actual still gloss of this book. Very slick, so you can see that it's retained all its color. The back, as you can see, couple of little creases along the spine, but again, they do not break color, so this will dramatically be increased by a pressing and dry cleaning. There is a quote-unquote date stamp, but this was in grease pencil. So a dry cleaning will not get that out, but that's not going to lower the grade on the book. With a pressing and dry cleaning, I would estimate this book between a 6.0 and a 7.0. So as you can see, there's no rips. I'll show you the centerfold. There's no coupons missing. The centerfold is completely intact. You can see no bleeding of the staples. This is a highly desirable book. I priced these to sell, so people like the person we had to get rid of on the last video will never be able to take advantage of these, so I don't see how that benefits being basically rude. But I am going to sell this for $329.99 plus shipping. You know, the shipping's about $14.99 that I charge, but you will not get a Mylar package. You will not get, you know, a manila envelope. You will not get one with just a backing board. They will be in boxes. They will be well secured. If you watch some of the people's comments from people that have ordered from me already, or there is a subscriber that made a video, and I'll put a link to that later on. I'll make a video about that. They did an unboxing recently. So if you do a We Love Comics unboxing, you might be able to see it. You could see it took them about 4 minutes to unbox it because that's how well protected it was. So you will not have to worry about what you see on eBay. And I know these are going to comic book lovers, so I know these are going to good homes. So yes, it kind of hurts that I have to sell them, but my family and my cat, well, she's part of the family, is more important. So if it makes you guys happy, I still have duplicates of many of these books, so it's not like I'll never have them again. If it makes somebody else happy and it helps me, how can you go wrong? All right, so that's book number 1, $329.99 plus shipping, already on the website. Let me post the link one more time. If you live outside the United States and are interested in that book, you could email me. It would have to be through PayPal. If you send it friends and family, I will add a free book, but of course you don't have to. But let's get to comic number 2. And this is another key issue. This is only going to go up. You notice most people when they sell books, it's always books that people don't really care about anymore. I'm selling books that people are going to care about. So, next one. Captain America, issue number 117. First appearance of Falcon, who is now going to be the new Captain America and is going to have his TV show coming out. So this book is going to continue to rise. Now, as you can see, this one was, when I bought it, in a Mylar. See how nice and shiny that is? It's like fool's gold. Don't let it fool you. We're going to take it out of the Mylar so you can see what the actual gloss is and not just the reflective nature. See how shiny that is? So the backing board looks nice and shiny with the Mylar. It's a good way to lie to people when you sell it to them. That's why many people don't take them out of the bags. But this is a higher grade book. This has, again, you can see its luster. See the shine and reflection? So this still has its original luster. This is an early Bronze Age book. You can tell by the 15-cent price. So this is early 70s, probably between 1970 and 72. Don't quote me on that. But as you can see, the colors absolutely pop. You can see there's no tears, no rips, no color loss. The back, again, as you can see, all nice and white. No coupons missing. Again, you could see the gloss on the back. So this is a higher grade book. This is definitely not going to be the typical eBay purchase of a grade that's 2.0 or higher. Now, it does have a little bit of an indent that goes through the book here, but as you can see, it does not break color. And it's a tiny little indent. Looks like maybe somebody tapped it with a tip of a pen. But you could press that out. The pages, and I'll show you the centerfold. No bleeding of the staples. The staples are still perfectly silver. You can see that the pages are off-white to white. There is a little minor color break, a color run along here. As you can see, you could barely see it. So, very minor right there. I don't see any ticks along the spine. Maybe one or two little dents. As you reflect it, you can see one or two little dents by the shield, but they do not break color, so pressing will fix that. There's from here up, there's some minor foxing. A little bit, but dry cleaning can improve that. And right here, it's hard to see. There's a little bit of an indent that does not break color. You could barely even see it. See right there? Does not break color, but can easily be pressed out. So these books are absolutely pressable. I will say with this book, I would say it's about a 7.0 to an 8.0. Definitely a higher grade book, and especially with the fact that this is going to be the next Captain America, and he has his TV shows, this book is going to continue to go up. So again, I am pricing this to sell. This book is going to get higher and higher, so if somebody doesn't buy it right away, I'll be more than happy to hold on to it, because the longer I hold on to it, the more money it's worth. But I'm going to sell this right now for $375 plus shipping. So I'm making it something that's very affordable that people can get right now if they're interested. So if you're interested, you can click on the link, and it's yours. Now, I only have one copy, so the first person that gets it, gets it. And also check all of the books from the other previous videos. There are still some books left. A lot of them sold, but there's still others. So when you go to the bottom of the website, you'll see a couple of them. You see the Marvel, I keep saying Marvel mystery boxes, but the comic mystery boxes, you have to hit the see more button to scroll a little bit more, hit the see more button, and you'll have to go all the way down to see these. But they're there already. So let's get to book number 3. Another major key book. Take it out of the bag. So, we have, for those like myself who cannot at this time afford the first appearance of Iron Man, which is Tales of Suspense number 39, this is the next best thing. This is Tales of Suspense number 40. I have 2 copies of this book, so I do not mind selling one. If it makes somebody happy, that's great. And I also have a copy myself. So this is the second appearance ever of Iron Man, and the first time he is in the golden armor. So first issue, he's in gray armor. So this is the first gold armor. Now, as you can see right here, there is, somebody wrote the letters VS in the comics approval code. There is a little crinkling. Let me see if I can get it with the light. I want to see you can see it. There's right there, see that? There's a little bit of crinkling, but does not break color. So this, again, is another pressable improvement that can happen with pressing it. The cover, as you can see, again, has some pretty good gloss. There is no rips, no chipping. The edges are pretty sharp. There's a little bit of blunting. But as you can see, overall pretty sharp. Looks pretty darn good. The back, as you can see, nothing missing. The edges have very minor, slight, little bit like fingerprint dirt, but like soiling. But a dry cleaning can help that. But as you can see, very minor. You could barely see it. Inside page, this you need to be aware of. Oh, and there's also a little bit of there's a 1-inch split right there. Staples are together. But this is the only major defect. The person that owned this book wrote their name several times on this book, but just page 1. So, as you can see, there is some writing on the inside. That's the only major defect. So because of that, I am lowering the grade a little bit. I want to make sure if I'm wrong with the grade, I'm low than high. So this key book, I'm going to say, is roughly about a 4.0 to a 5.0. And that's after you press and dry cleaning. There's, again, a lot of things that can be fixed with the dry cleaning and pressing. So I'm going to say this is roughly like between about a 4.0 to a 5.0 with off-white pages. I'm going to sell this one for $459.99 plus shipping and handling. So very affordable for a key book and the second appearance of Iron Man. Definitely a book that somebody's going to grab. All right, next 2 are Amazing Spider-Man books, because I know a lot of you love Amazing Spider-Man, and now that they've confirmed that the latest Spider-Man movie made over $1 billion, because they had a contract with Sony that said if the Spider-Man Far From Home did not make, or at least one of the first 2 movies did not make $1 billion, the rights would go back to Sony. And if they got at least one of the movies to go over $1 billion, then the contract will be renegotiated and Marvel will make part 3. So the recent movie made over $1 billion, So there is going to be a part 3. So this is a key book. If it were not for this one defect, which you'll see, this would be a pretty high-grade book. So we have Amazing Spider-Man number 20, first appearance of the Scorpion. Now, he was in the first movie, and they teased him in the end credit scene, so he is most likely going to be back in part 3. Now, obviously, we cannot guarantee that because you never know if they change things, but a lot of people are having rumors about the Sinister Six and he being in there. So, as you can see, somebody took a pen and put a big plus sign above Spider-Man's head. That's the only real major defect. The spine looks pretty darn good. There is like a speck right there, as you can see right above Spidey's head. There's a speck right there of color loss. I don't know how that happened. The edges look pretty darn sharp, but there is one minor color breaking crease along the corner there. So it looks like somebody, when they put it into the bag and board, probably bent once. So there is a little bit of a bend on the back on the tip, but that does not break color. It's all the way at the tip. There's a little wrinkle right there. There's a tiny little tear, as you could see, but it's a hairline tear. But everything around it can be pressed out. There is a little bit of dirt by the staples and a sprinkle of it on the bottom, like barely noticeable. But as you can see, nothing missing, no rips. You could see how the staples are. See, you could see the little bit of the dirt by the staple. That's the only major thing. Pages inside. Staples are attached. Let me do the centerfold. I would say off-white to white pages. And you could see again, the staples are pure silver in color. Both are attached. So I'll tell you, this book would probably be a 7.0 to a 7.5 if it were not for that writing. But of course, I'm not going to say it's that high because that writing will affect the grade. I just don't know how much. So I'm going to be on the safe side and say this book is around a 5.5 to a 6.0. Because something like this is not going to lower it to a 3. Especially when the rest of the book looks really darn good. And it's not like it's all over the page. So it will lower it. But I want to make sure, like I say, if I make a mistake with the grade, I want it to be under, not over. So I'm going to say, like I said, between a 5.5 and a 6.0. I'm selling this for $499.99 plus shipping. If he ends up in the Sinister Six in Part 3, all I have to say is, what do you think is going to happen to the book? Is it A, going to stay the same, B, lower in value, or 3, increase in value? You make that decision. But this book, I have 2 copies of this book, so I do not mind selling something like this. Still a pretty darn decent grade for that book. Overall, looks beautiful. All right. So, I've sold a graded version of this book, but now I'm going to sell an ungraded version. And this is the last one. And one more time, let me put the link in the description. Even if you can't get anything or don't want to get anything or whatever, if you could share the links, they absolutely help if you place them on your social networks, because we definitely could use the help. Here is the last book. Just for today, anyway, because I will be putting more. As you can see, Amazing Spider-Man number 13. This is an incredibly hot book right now. First appearance of Mysterio. Any book from Spider-Man from 20 down is desirable. And this is a pretty decent book. And again, it has a lot of pressable defects. So let's go over one thing that I want to show. On page 1, somebody wrote their name on the top. That's the only major thing. On the back, there are a couple of little folds. You probably see it better. See the wrinkles? It has some wrinkling, but none of them break color. Now you can see there's some chipping at the edge on the top. Pressings are going to help all of those wrinkles. You can see no coupons cut out. No nothing. Now there is, right here, and this is why I like showing these, so you can see I'm not like eBay person trying to cheat people. You can see there's a section cut out. Now, as you can see on the other side, there is no coupon. It does not affect the story. So because of the fact there is no coupon here and there is no affecting of the story, this will not come back a green label. If that was a coupon, it would. Or even a Marvel value stamp. But that's just a little piece that was taken out. That's the only one problem in the book. But again, because it does not break color, because it does not affect the story, and it's not a coupon, that book still is going to be a blue label. Now you can see centerfold, staples are attached. Same thing with the cover. The staples are nice and silver. There are some defects along the spine. There's a couple of color breaking creases that go all the way to the front and back. There's some wrinkles that are non-color breaking. Still has some of its gloss, as you can see. The book is complete. No major rips, no tears. Colors look really great. I mean, especially from a book from about 1964, 1965. There are, like I said, some like wrinkling on the back. And D. Stingley just did a $5 super chat. Thank you. He says, hey, Chris, how do you prevent yourself from getting overwhelmed with collecting? Well, running out of money is a good way at first to do that. But, I mean, it depends on your serious level of the hobby. I mean, I'm going to be perfectly honest. Selling some of these, especially in the beginning, really hurt. Because you get a connection with these things. Most people do not understand that. So, I'm not selling them because I want to. I'm selling them because I have to. But the way to prevent yourself from getting overwhelmed is, number one, don't take it too seriously. Number two, have fun with it. And number three, don't really care what other people say. Because as you could see in that last video, you're just going to get some people that have nothing better to do than to be nasty people. Trust me when I say, I used to let them affect me, and every now and then it still does, but I never let it to the point as it used to. But, you know, every person's human. They're going to deal with things differently. Sometimes just sit back, take a deep breath, reevaluate your situations, and go with what works best with you. Because if you're doing this solely for the money, especially if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't research, if you don't know the grades, if you don't know the value, you're going to lose more times than you're going to win. So, knowledge is power. The more you learn, the better. And that's what the difference between, like, for example, if you see many of the deals I've gotten, I get them because I know the prices of the books, and I know what generally the grade should be on a book. So when somebody posts something on eBay, right away, I already know the value, so I don't have to look it up. So I'll know if something is undervalued or overvalued. So the more you learn, the more you help yourself. Some people that don't know are now going to have to look it up. They're going to have to check the grade. They're going to have to research the book. And by the time they do that, somebody like me or somebody else would have already purchased it. So, knowledge is power. Alright, so let's get back to this last book. And again, these are all on the website. This is a definite key issue. I am going to say this book is approximately a 3.5 to a 4.0. It does have off-white pages. Pressable defects. So this book can definitely be improved. We are going to sell this one for $729 plus shipping. So those are the 5 books. They are on the website. There are plenty of others that are still there. Get them if you're interested. Please share it, even if you cannot get any, because it will help. We are trying to move within the next 30 days or so. Can anyone recommend a reliable source for comic book values? I'll tell you the number one. Go on eBay and go under sold comics. Because it doesn't matter what somebody says the value of something is. What matters is what somebody's willing to pay for it. So you can have a book that's worth $100, but then 5 seconds later they announce a movie. That book, even though it's listed as a $100 value, is no longer going to be $100 because more people are going to want it. It creates more of a demand. That raises the price. So what I always do is, I also will look at GoCollect.com, but remember, those are based on graded prices and their CGC. But I will go on eBay and look at previously sold books around the area of the grade that I'm looking at and see what people are paying for it. So most people don't know how to do business properly because they don't do their own research. The more, again, the more you know, the better you're going to protect yourself and the better deals you're going to get. Like, for example, if you see that other video that I did earlier, and I'll give you a sneak peek of one of the books, I bought this book for $5.43. I bought a whole bundle of Incredible Hulk books. This was a high-grade book that came back in 9.0 because I knew when I saw this that it was a beautiful book, and I snatched it up. So the more you know, the easier it's going to be, and there are deals all the time. So please do your due diligence and do your work. So those are the 5 books. I hope you appreciated this. Anybody that's bought from me recently, please put comments in the comment section letting everybody know about your experience so they can see I'm not what some people claim me to be. Everything's well protected. The prices are fairly reasonable. Some people telling me they are trying to buy books that cost double what I'm charging for lower grades. I want to price these to sell them because I definitely could use the money. It's going to help towards Luna, and it's going to help towards moving because we need the money to buy the house. So some people may like that. Some people may hate that. I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for my wife and for my cats and myself. So thanks for watching. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Today's surprise subscriber shout out. And if you're not a subscriber, that's okay. But we would love for you to hit the subscription button. We're going to give it today. We're going to go with D. Stingley. And if I butchered that, please forgive me. So, D. Stingley, you are today's surprise subscriber shout-out. Hopefully you guys and gals will appreciate these things. If you're interested in them, get them while they can. Check the others out. Don't forget the comic mystery boxes. The reason I say Marvel all the time is 9 out of 10 people tell me they want all Marvel books, so it almost ends up like a Marvel mystery box. And which, by the way, with the Marvel mystery boxes, you won't get a specific comic, but if you want all DC or all Marvel, let me know and I will make sure that I accommodate you for that. And like I said, if you order more than 2 books in one order, I'll throw in an extra book for free. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Your thumbs up will show that you do give the support. Check out my Patreon. Check out the GoFundMe page. Don't forget to sign up for the cashback program because the link's in the description for that as well. If you buy on eBay Comics, you can get 2% cash back as of now, and if you've never used it before, if you sign up and spend $25 or more within the first 90 days, you get an additional $10 cash back, and I get a one-time referral fee, so it helps me out as well. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day, and yeah, Steve, you just missed it, but it's rewatchable, and as of now, nobody's purchased any, and that's okay. That just means those books are available for the first person who wants them. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. And don't forget, it is not you. It is not I. It's We Love Comics. And thank you for that comic addiction. You're very nice. I'll see you next video. Have a great day.